Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Moka, for your inspiring and courageous conversation. Very inspiring. It's not difficult subject. My subject, it's not too easy, too easy. Synchronicity in psychotherapy. I try for 25 years to try to understand what is synchronicity, and I fucking don't know what it is. So I must admit that I am still searching. I envy the New Age literature that can give us magic definition, but for me it's a mysterious thing. I studied for 25 years, you know. I don't know if people know. Here I published a book in 2021 and 2001. Les hasards nécessaires, Necessary Chances, a book on. It was a pop psychological book, but I was not satisfied, and I wanted to confront my own ideas, published in 2001, and so I returned to school to make this thing. So, hope we will have an occasion to share, to explore what can be synchronicity in psychotherapy, and particularly what we can do as therapists when we encounter this strange coincidence. Have you experienced synchronicity in the therapeutic setting? So I hope we'll have occasion to work on that. So the main drive, what drives me, I like the idea is that we teach the best what we have to most to learn. So my first patient, I will begin with this. My first patient, I was at the beginning of my practice 25 years ago in Quebec City. And I was working a lot with helping people helping people service on the phone. Sorry for my English, I will certainly invent some words. So I was working in a helping care, and that was free. So I was used to help for free. So I was a kind of energy of freeless. And so, and in my parental background, we had kind of difficulty with an heritage problem. So that was in the background of my beginning of my work as a psychologist. So my first patient, a 81 years old woman, she drives 2 hours to came to me. And so I feel very, your first patient, you say, okay, I want to give a lot to that person. So I made a therapy for 1 hour and a half. That was the only time in my life I did therapy. But what was strange, it's at the end of my session, at the beginning of my career, someone entered the psychological space, and he entered the room, opened the door, at the same time of my client that was giving my first fee of therapy. So she gave me the money, and there's someone opened the door and said, I need money. And I said, whoa, what's that? What's that? Where are you come from? So I pushed the guy outside of the therapeutic space, and who are you? And he said, I am from a prison. He was not escaped from a prison, but he was at the end of a term in a prison, and he was in the surrounding, and he needed money. So he found this place, and so I said, no, I cannot give you money, go out. But what is this? What is this? So that was the starting point of my research, and I created a book about that. So at the same time, so you have something emerge in the therapeutic setting at that special time, and you had this kind of, what is that? So this is very strange thing. So there's 3 ways to read a coincidence. Freeze it into certainty, it's a sign, I should never charge for therapy. So you can freeze into certainty, and you can freeze the meaning. Or you can freeze on the other side, dismiss it as pure chance, nothing's here. We will try to explore a third way together. Keep it in play. So play with that. So what I have done is I create a research, and I interview therapists, 6 therapists, and to find what you do when you have this kind of event. What is the origin of synchronicity? So, have you heard about the golden beetle example? Some? We never knew what that woman was. So, just for that, my doctorate was very inspiring because I find the patient, the golden scarab patient. She was Maggie Reichstein, born in Batavia, Indonesia in 1894. We only know the example of a synchronicity from Jung, that it was very popular in New Age thing. So I will just resume for those people that don't know what it is. So Jung is with a patient that he said that she's rigid, intellectual, not in contact with his body. She was judging of this patient. And then at some point in the psychotherapy, where there was an impasse, the woman dreamed of a golden scarab. So she received a golden scarab in her dream, and the next day, she tells the dream to Jung, and Jung, at the same time that she tells the dream of the golden scarab, there's a golden scarab or scarab knocking at the window of the therapeutic section. What we know, because we don't know what happened really in that space. Jung get out of his chair, took the gold beetle, let enter the space, put there, and said, "There is your gold." So he was kind of and very Egyptian thing. So I like Jung, but sometimes he can fly very high. What we don't know, and we know from the Morna Journal of Analytical Psychology in 2014, we know more about that woman. And what was very interesting is before the golden scarab, Jung had a dream. When he dreamed of that woman, he see this woman very, very high, and Jung was very, very low. And then Jung tell to his patient, I dream of you. You are very high, I was very, very low. I think I misunderstand you because me, myself, I'm putting me too high for you. Never knew about this dream. We only knew the golden scarab example. So that's interesting to look at the golden scarab event. Not only happened at one time, it happened in a sequentiality of time, of event, not only one event. So that's interesting, not only to see the simultaneity of events in psychotherapy, but also to look at the sequence, like in music, the musicality of event in the synchronicity field. So, if we want to try to give a definition, Jung also work with Wolfgang Pauli, the Nobel Prize, to try to go into the science and try to understand what is this magical principle, the synchronicity principle with Pauli. But we can extract some ideas. So it's acausal. Acausal, it's linked by a meaning, not linked by cause. In French, on cause avec, we talk with it. It's not something that is cause, we cause with. So I don't know in English, it's the same word. So it's acausal. It's not causal because you can see people say, I see people in my therapy, we broke a glass. This means that we have to break the relation. So very first level meaning causal, and we will talk about Fanagi, the mentalization. It's kind of a pre-mentalization kind of way. So it's acausal, meaningful, but the meaning, it's like in the body. It's not in the head, the meaning. The body, you feel it. We can call it the goosebump of synchronicity. You feel something very, very powerful, but in the body. Kairotic, it's in Kairos time. The chronos. Chronos is a linear time. And Kairos is the right moment to have its maximum impact. For the Greek, Kairos is the best time to give a medicine or a poison for having a maximum impact. So I think nature can work like this in kairotic time. And I like this kairotic, this idea of the erotic of time, the right time. Okay. What I have tried to do in my research is try to go from synchronicity. Synchronicity is a word that don't mean anything now. In the New Age thing, people can see synchronicity everywhere. So I try in my research, to go to meaningful coincidence, to go to coincidence and let the space open. Okay, just two earlier exploration. So in 2001, for people interested, I have the book in English. If you want it, I can give it as an e-book. So it published I call as Necessary Chances. So that was the first attempt I tried to understand synchronicity. In French, it's Les hasards nécessaires, les éditions de l'homme. I also, an article called L'espace d'un instant. I try to explore synchronicity as an act of creation in time and try to make relation with the quantum realm. But this article must be rewritten. Okay, part 3, the study. What was the question? The question that we have to ask is how therapists attribute meaning when coincidence erupt in session. Remember my clients, I didn't know what to do with this thing, after I returned into office and my client was that too, so I was not formed for that kind of event. So I found that we don't have formation for that in psychotherapy. So there's a need to understand and to try to work more. So exploring the meaning in meaningful coincidence, I base my research, I try to look at the literature, scientific literature, that there's not a lot of things. You can a lot of books like The Secret and a lot of attraction and tout, but no real, it's very hard. My research was very hard, try to find background, and we found Roxburgh Ridgway in 2015. We have a very interesting research. She had 9 counselors, and she tried to extract some theme into that. So she extracted 3 superordinated themes. The sense of connectedness. It helped the therapeutic process, but also we find professional issues. Therapists don't talk a lot about that. So it's kind of... So that's why it's difficult to study that. And so we had to work hard for finding subject. I had difficulty. I found 6 subjects, but it was very difficult to find too. So nothing in the literature and the scientific literature, a difficulty to have subject, so that research was not very, very easy to do. There's another study by Roxburgh and Ridgway and Rowe in 2016. She said that she has a survey asking 226 practitioners to talk about synchronicity. 45% said that they experienced synchronicity, and 67% said, "Hey, it can be useful. You can play with that. You can use with that." So that's the main root of our research. So I have 6 subject, semi-structured interview, and we extract 5 transversal themes. So we will explore these themes. Et tu peux t'en tantôt. Il reste 6 minutes. Okay. This is very important. The body as a resonance chamber. The meaningful coincidence don't came into the head. You feel it in the body. So all practitioners said that. So keep an attention on your body when you have this kind of experience. And we can relate that to neuroscience. Friston and Solms. I don't know if you know the research of Friston and Solms. They said that our brain is always trying to predict it, and once something arrives that it cannot predict, there's a rising level of what they call the free energy. But this free energy has to go low because you are in state of high entropy. So brain always try to lower the entropy. So when you have this kind of synchronicity, it can be seen as, oh, there's something needing my attention. My attention needs to lower the entropy. So that's why the game began. How you lower the entropy? So there's religion, there's drug, there's a lot of things. But so how you get the entropy low? So I have an incursion into Freestone sounds, if you are interested. Neuroscience, very interesting. To know more about these ideas of the body that was vibrating like a musical instrument, but try to give information to something. The relational field. This is very important. The synchronicity occurs in a relation, particularly in therapy, but in life. In what you are in relation with what? And sometimes the question is not the synchronicity is happening to me, but the synchronicity is happening to us. The synchronicity is happening to relation. So that can be a very interesting tool. We have in Quebec a very, je ne sais pas s'il y en a ici, PGRO, Gilles Delisle. I have a lot of background into this approach, so Gestalt, object relation, psychotherapy. They talk about the kind of entanglement of EP, identification projective. When you said, when you in your therapy, you are possessed by something, you said that in your presentation. Huh? So you are like possessed by something. So sometimes it's not to you, and it's to the relation. And so try to look at what's going on into the relation, and particularly that what we call the IP, or the projective identification. The symbols, there's always a symbols. My example was not in my research because I didn't want to use my example, but I had a different kind of example in my research. A penguin, a frog, a cat, and a hunting horn. The hunting horn, at some point, my sign, 2? 3? Okay. So, so that was a relation, very difficult therapeutic relation. The analyst was in an impasse, and the patient was in a very aggressive transference against her. And he was a musician. And at some point in therapy, she's in Paris, there's a hunting horn that raised into the field of therapy, and both laugh. And this event, the laugh and the energy deployed by this symbol, so this is a symbol that creates something that opened the therapy for her. So take a look at the kairos. So the other thing is a special timing, beginning, the beginning of a therapy, the end of the therapy, the impasse of the therapy. This morning we play with begin and so this frontier time. So that's kairos. Mentalization. So watch out of the psychic equivalence. What Fonagy said. If I broke a glass, don't mean that we had to break the relation. Be more imaginative. So we need more imagination. Talking about the speech of this morning, we need to have more imagination, to have an active imagination. Jung talk about active imagination, AI. Active imagination is AI. It's a natural AI. Okay, because you've seen the Odyssey. When you see a GIF, it can be a trap. will not go into that. Okay. I will finish with 5 clinical guideposts to help us, what we extract from the research. Be curious of the other. And the other is not only a person, but the situation that you don't know. Be curious of the other. Be curious of the unexpected. Read the field from your body. What your body tells when you have this kind of experience. Play with the symbol as a transitional object, like Winnicott said. It's like a doo-doo. Try to reconcile the world. Be sensitive to the kairos. There's a right time to give some information in therapy or to receive information. Like like the season of the year. You don't put seeds in winter, so you put seed on the... So be curious of the kairos. And encourage the as if. What if? I like what you said this morning. What if? What if can bring us into a virtual world, and it can be the virtual world, but it can also be a playful world. So encourage the what if or the as if. Okay, so I think I will finish with that. I don't know if you have seen the last book by Damasio, L'intelligence naturelle. So he explores what is natural intelligence in contrast to the artificial intelligence. And it's also related to the body. Never AI will have body. So if they don't have body, they will give us a lot of very strange meaning that will not be embodied in money. Embodied in money, certainly. But have you seen that? You are in front of your computer. Hey, I was thinking about you. You give me a formation a week to give life meaning with synchronicity. I was thinking about, a lot of guru in France and to play with that. You have seen this on the screen. That means that you must go in my workshop. So watch out of the algorithm and the commerciality of synchronicity. So I will finish with that. Keeping meaning in play, like the Triskells, meaning turns, psyche, event, relation, never resting on a single point. A coincidence transforms us in the space of a moment if we let it remain a question. Thank you very much. Have you... wait. Yeah.
Thank you, that was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like the kairos as well. I like that as an interesting thinking point. So often the question in therapy is why now?
Why now? Yeah, absolutely.
And I love...
yeah.
I agree with you. That you can fix and dismiss, you can fix, it's coincidence, of course you can do that. But I like the whole playing with it, and then asking the question.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Now?
Why now?
Yeah. Because there's something here, in a sense, I guess you could say, it's attention. Something we find ourselves attending to something at that moment.
Yeah, so the quality of time, the quality of the moment, and to listen to the quality of the moment, like in music. I one day I will, if I wrote another book, I will call it Symphonicity, not Synchronicity. It's like a music, and the music, the timing in music is very important. So, now. And it's now that the emotion liberate is. So, why is this happening? And I can relate to my first patient. Why now? I am at the beginning of my practice. I am not comfortable with money. I have ancestry problem. My client has ancestry problem. So that was all this musicality that was at that time. Yeah. So thank you,
And you see this popping up in all sorts of places. You see this in dreams as well. Moments happen. From nowhere, all of a sudden, and then we sort of, if we hold it, then it's like, well, maybe we need to attune to this or something.
Yes, and it's interesting you talk about dream, because it will not have the same impact if I see a golden scarab, and in the night I will dream of a golden scarab. That's not the same time.
But then you see one on the window.
Yeah. I like Jung, but sometimes he can be very...
Well, yes.
I agree with you.
The truth of the story.
And what's interesting, you have to read this article. It's marvelous, because Jung had another dream also, but I will not talk about it now. Go to the article. But Jung had a very kind of relation to the scarabée with Freud. When he has a tension between Jung and Freud, the scarabée was present into... So we had to be prudent, and sense is like... I listened to a conversation yesterday on radio. The guy said that transcendence is like fuel. It's brute. And you will find a lot of systems that will transform the brutality of this, to transform in a sense that is consumable. Like the brute fuel, you cannot do anything with brute fuel. So there's a lot of system that, comment on dit ça en français? Une raffinerie de pétrole. A raffinery, oil raffinery. So there's meaning of a raffinery in our society. So we are, stay free of your own petrol raffinery of meaning. So that will be that. But thank you.
Why can we not understand the meaning at the time of the occurrence?
Why we cannot understand the meaning at the time?
At the time of the synchronistic occurrence. It takes hours, weeks, sometimes months, long time to understand the meaning.
So, talking about understand, you can feel something, but you need time, like a flower. So there's a seed that was put there. So the seed need time, it need ground, need water, and need condition to flourish. So we can see meaning as a floraison. So I like more that than petrol. So asking your question is, the seed of meaning is put it at some point in your life. You know, I had this in the 25 years ago, and sometimes it need time. So I maybe sometime the meaning need time. The meaning, and sometimes, a lot of time, there's not one meaning. That's the creative or humanist approach. There's not one meaning. You can encapsulate your patient. This is the meaning. No, it can be that. It can be that. So talking about the meaning, we can explore what seed of meaning is there and how the seed of meaning deploy on time, and it can be this meaning and that meaning. So to play with meaning. It means that there's not only one meaning, I think. I don't know if it's cover your question.
Yeah, it is. One incident occurs in your example, the hunting horn from the plaza.
Yeah.
Kind of easy.
Yeah.
Because it was a dream with a horn, oboist. But sometimes this is really meaningful. This is it.
You
right?
feel it.
This is it.
Yeah, this is
but
it.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I don't understand. Yeah, sometimes there's flower that need more love to flourish. That's what I would say to that.
Any other question?
I thank you for the gardening. I love this. Thank you.
We still have like 10 minutes.
So if you want my book, send me an email and I will give you the ebook.
So what meaning did you give to your first experience, the teeth that being born?
I connected that to here. Now, we have to be curious about this archetype, because the thief is an archetype. It's a trickster. Hermes. So, thank you for the question. You helped me be more curious about what life takes you as a thief and give you. Hermes, the trickster, is kind of the god of the god of the thief, and the god of the frontier, and the god of commerce. So it helped me for all the time to be curious about how we make commerce, and to be conscious, I am stealing something to you or something. So it raised the question of the archetype, and I will publish I will give a publicity with another book, Danser avec le chaos. I published another book because I published this book en français. Là, mon auditeur veut savoir de moi, il me trouve trop bizarre, mais j'ai écrit Danser avec le chaos. Si jamais cet archétype-là vous intéresse, l'archétype, the archetype of the trickster, dancing with chaos. I wrote a book about that. It's a very powerful archetype. It can be very, very, very dark in the United States. The trickster can be very, very dark. I will not say that Trump is a trickster, but he has this kind of very dark energy, and so the border energy, the commerce energy. So, but it's not, But yeah, this is the trickster, the thief, the commerce, how we deal in a society that distill all meaning in money. Oh yeah. So thank you for the question. Yeah?
Yeah, well, I'm riding on, I don't know if it's the right word, but like on what you were asking, like why not now, about like the meaning. And I was thinking about like moments where I felt like there were like a synchronicity or like a coincidence, and I was realizing sometimes that moment for me was like the actual meaning, because like it brought me back to like the present moment, or like feeling connected to like nature, or feeling connected to like something bigger, but also reminding me that like there can be organization in the chaos or something like that. And so yeah, so sometimes like in my own like experience, the meaning can like be there, and it's just there, and there's nothing like that nourish outside of like me. But yeah,
you raise a nice and very interesting question. What before and after this event has created in your life? Because sometimes you don't know, but that was there, that was the before and the after. So we create a transformation. The transformation effect of synchronicity is a very powerful. So we can try to guess that in life we always try to prepare, always try to be sure that entropy is not too low. So we diminish the uncertainty. But sometimes life pitches us in a state of uncertainty. Oh, wow, I needed that to go into a door. So look at the door that opened in your life. So a sense of connectedness, that can be one. So you cannot feel it and you cannot explain it, but I feel more connected with my brother. When you see a movie, ça c'est un autre livre que j'ai écrit, réalisé dans un monde d'images. C'est un livre sur les films. When you enter a story, and the story, wow, this story creates an after and a before. An after and a before. Yeah, what is the door that was opened by that event? So that can be a good question. I don't know if it's, but you raise a lot of good questions. Thank you for the question. I hope you will have more questions at the end. What?
I was wondering if you could maybe, like, say a certain kind of psychotherapeutical posture that might be like help use or I don't know, make sense of synchronicity, or because you were talking about how life can throw at us unpredicted and things that we didn't expect. And personally, I tend to have trouble with unexpected things. And
We all have. You're in the gang.
and no, but specifically, like your example with the person from the prison. My interpretation would have been that's outside of the, like, just throw it out, don't try to make sense of it. That's not in the therapeutical context. You have to talk about it, of course, but as a way to, let it pass.
Good question. What can be the psychotherapeutic attitude when we encounter that? In our research, we had a woman that at some point, that was a very sensible time in psychotherapy. And the woman, the client, was always into the head and was always not in contact with emotion. And at some point, there's a cat that enter the field of therapy. The therapist say in a playful way, what your cat can tell you now, and then open a door. So that's a good example from the research, to have an attitude of playful. What can the cat tell you that? And you can explore that. So I don't know if I answer the question, but you can play with the unexpected. When a cat enters. So that can be a posture in psychotherapy.
And to do it maybe with the person, like asking.
And let her. Hey, là, ton chat t'aide de dire que tu es en train de faire un deuil. Ben oui. C'est ça.
Yeah.
So be curious, be playful, and okay. So when something is unexpected, you can play with the unexpected. Yeah. Yeah.
How can you recognize anomaly?
Anomaly.
Sometimes a man bursts in the door and wants money, anomalous.
Yeah.
But a glass breaking, maybe not. What counts as an anomalous event?
I think we can measure that by the improbability of the event. The glass can be broke every time. A man entering a psychotherapy at the time of the time she gave me money and she came from prison, this is very ça défie les statistiques. It sounds statistical. So you have, we love the courbe normale, the normal curve in psychology. So look at the event and to the bottom of the curve. So.
Also, I feel like you feel it. Like
and you feel it too, yeah. So it's very unusual, and then your brain process. The more things you are unusual, the more your brain process. I don't want to talk about Trump, but the fuzziness of this guy always try to trigger our brain to lower the entropy. He do things so. Je l'aime pas. I don't like him, but he did the things like so, and we are not used to that. To this kind of why he said that, and then we are like that. Like, it's addictive. So look at the things that are at the bottom of the normal curve.
I wonder if it then comes with the,
Excuse me?
I wonder if the meaning then, though, to go back to the question of why does the meaning occur later? Because in a sense, yes, unusual, but then you've also got to have it processed, and then it becomes new.
Yeah, and that's...
Because actually, some unusual things will be the anomaly.
And this is connected to your talk this morning that I find so inspiring. Imagination has to be active, not only personal way, in a collective way, when we encounter this kind of thing. So as a society, it's so easy to say, hey. So no. We have, as a society, to lower the AI, artificial, and to higher the active imagination collectively, to try to imagine what this talk about us. And je fais de la pub de mes livres. Mon dernier livre, c'est How to Tame Your Little Dictator. That was a flop. My editor didn't want to publish my book after that. But maybe try to look at where the dictator is inside of you instead of projecting on yourself. So if you are comfortable with the unexpected in you, the dark side inside of you, maybe you are more playful and play with the unexpected on the collective level and to the outside level. So thank you. I thank you very much. Thank you.